Hello and welcome to the Candidates Forum 2021. I'm your host, Ed Miller, and we are pleased to have with me today Jamie Hodges, who's running for Ward 2 Councilor. Jamie, thank you for coming down.
You're welcome.
Now, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you would make a good choice for the Ward 2 Council.
Yeah, so a little bit about myself is I'm Jamie Hodges. I grew up in Brockton, lived in Ward 2 basically all my time here in Brockton. I'm product of the public school system, a 2012 graduate from Brockton High School. I've received both my master's and my bachelor's degree, one from LaSalle, one from Regis College. And I'm running for city council because I'm passionate about my community. I want to continue to be involved in my community, continue to represent their views and whatever concerns they have, and be the voice that brings those concerns to the council board to try to provide a resolution for them.
Mm-hmm. And what do you believe is the most important issue facing this council today?
The most important issue that I believe is public safety. That's one of my top goals is public safety. We have to make sure our community members are safe. I've heard a lot of concerns going door to door with my community members. They're telling me that their safety, they're sometimes afraid to call the police. They're sometimes want to make sure the police come and answer their concerns. So public safety, I believe, is the biggest issue, but I also want to be on the council to help resolve that issue as well, bridge that gap, make sure we have more effective communication within our law enforcement in our community as well.
And what are some of the recommendations that you would put forward to get the public safety and other issues that you're strong on?
Well, my first recommendation would be to maybe if the police could have a call prioritizing. So if someone calls, like they told me now they have a prioritizing. So maybe if someone calls, they can have someone not take as long, to come help that elderly resident. Or if they have someone maybe bilingual for their 911 call takers. So those customers who have that language barrier, they can also be able to effectively communicate with 911 as well. And some of the other issues or recommendations I would make is to communicate more with my city council to find out as a goal what we can make as a recommendation, because I can't do it by myself. It's 10 other people that sit on the board with me. Mm-hmm. So together we can provide the best recommendation, the best solution for the whole city of Brockton.
Mm-hmm. Now, as a ward councilor, you'll be required to vote on certain items that would benefit the city.
Yes.
How would you vote if the vote you're going to cast is not well taken by the residents of Ward 2, something that you support, you think will help the city, but the residents are hesitant on?
Well, that's when the ward meetings would come into play. So I would have a meeting with my Ward 2 constituents and talk to them, find out their concerns. Why do you not support this item that is on the city council agenda? Tell me your concerns about what it is, and then maybe give my views on why I would support that item that's coming to them from the city council, and see how they would see it in my view. But I can't persuade them, I can't make them do anything, but I would just try to weigh the pros and cons of each side of the situation.
Mm-hmm. Now, this isn't under the council purview, so to speak, but it was something that's going to be an issue, and it was an issue before. Now, 3 years ago, we entered a contract with Waste Management, resulting in things that don't really help the constituents. We got smaller trash barrels. Mm-hmm. The trash barrels that we have, a family of two would fill up before the weekend. It also results in we have to buy the trash bags, the special trash bags that cost $4 for $5, which when we started was $5 for $5. Yep. It's also a 350% markup that if someone went into the local grocery store and bought a bag of 28 or 30. So they're also expending more money on that. When that contract comes up, because it will come up in the next term. Okay. It's 5 years. What are some of the issues that you feel, even maybe ones I didn't mention, but the ones I mentioned, how could that be fixed? Because as you look, trash bags, we go around other communities, our barrels are about half the size.
Small, yes.
What are some of the recommendations, not even recommendations, but things you would demand that have to be put in to benefit Ward 2 and the city?
Well, in my Ward 2, like you said, the whole city as a whole is to, like you said, other communities such as Boston, and we have Bridgewood, they have larger trash cans that we have. So I would, when our contract's up for renewal, I would do some type of want to do some type of negotiation, like, okay, you're charging us this large of a percentage, we should be able to have, like you said, the 5 for 5 trash bags or the larger trash barrels, and we don't need a big recycling bin, just swap the sizes. We'll do the little one for the recycling and the big one for the trash. We could just, because I was in Boston and I saw that, I was like, this Brockton does it completely opposite. So I would definitely propose that to the table. We're charging our residents this much percentage, but we're giving them little trash, and everybody has to buy little green bags. Like you said, 4 for 5, that's not a deal. Like my parents, for example, have to buy 2 or 3 packs of those just to, get the trash. So that would be something I would definitely look for negotiating, especially amongst my counselors. Like we could have a meeting like, look, this is what I see happening in Ward 2. Do you notice this in your ward as well? Then when we go to the council and have to vote on it, we can all be in agreement of what we all see.
And that goes through the mayor's office, but you would also be working with the mayor and talking to the mayor,
Yes,
whoever that
working
would
with
be
the
at
mayor.
the time.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that I keep on hearing is the small business owners, especially new ones trying to move in, and even some of the ones who have been here, are expressing their frustration over the process of their projects and trying to open up their stores in a timely manner, which in Brockton does take a lot longer than other communities.
Yes.
The primary concerns deals with the length of time it takes to get the approvals needed, and also trying to navigate through City Hall on where you have to be. And that can be confusing, especially where some speak a second language. What do you feel the changes needed to make Brockton a more business-friendly in the timing and the approval system?
I think first we need to become a more marketable for small businesses. Like, I know they're trying to build downtown up, but as I always say, downtown's great for small businesses, but we need small businesses in our neighborhoods as well. Our neighborhoods need those little nice, little cozy, small-owned businesses that we can all like go and eat, or you could get buy an item from. So I feel like to make us more marketable as a city, we have to appeal to those businesses that want to come here, not like, because I know it's a process to open a business. So maybe if we can have someone who works in the mayor's office that can help those new business owners streamline through the process. Okay, let me help you do this. So like an advocate or someone that helps them with the process. Because sometimes if you're a first-time business owner, you're going to be clueless as to what's happening when you're trying to open your business. But having that person there that works in the mayor's office and helps you get through your paperwork, maybe that could streamline the paperwork to go faster than you're trying to fill out everything.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
And currently, well, Brockton, let's say, is a mid-sized, 105,000 people city. We're a good-sized city.
Yes.
But we have a city council that has to run every 2 years and is part-time. How do you feel, and would you support city councilors, one running every 4 years instead of 2, and 2, should the city council be full-time positions for the people who are elected, or stay with part-time?
Well, in my opinion, I believe that the 2-year city council works because every 2 years, like say someone wants to retire, they get into it and they're like, oh, maybe this is not for me. Maybe this is not something I wanted. At least they know, okay, I do 2 years and I can get out. But 4 years, you have to last 4 years. I mean, 4 years wouldn't be too bad, but I feel like 2 years is good to then keep running again, And as in regards to full-time, part-time, I feel like it should be a full-time because you are a full-time counselor. You're never a full-time counselor. You're always answering calls from your constituents. You're always answering, you're solving complaints, and you're just always full-time. So I do think it should be a full-time position because no matter what, you're still full-time counselor on the clock all the time, all day. So.
Okay, well, Jamie, thank you for coming down, answering all the questions. That's why we're trying to get the information on why people are running and who they should choose.
You're welcome.
We have a few minutes. Why don't you take the time and tell the people in Ward 2 why they should be voting for you and why you should be their counselor.
Yes, so I should be your counselor. I'm running for Ward 2 City Council. I will respect your views as a city councilor. I'm going to have an open phone policy no matter what the time is. If you call me, if I don't pick up, I will be sure to return your call back. On November 2nd, I'll be number 1 on the ballot. So I would love if you voted for me. Love to count on your vote if you vote for me.
Well, thank you. You've been listening to Jamie Hodges, who's running for Ward 2 Council, which is an open seat, so it's very important for Ward 2 to get out there. That's all the time we have, and I want to thank, again, Jamie for being here, and I want to thank you for listening. And remember, November 2nd is the election, and it is very important. These are the people who are going to be running our city in elections. That's how we choose people to run our city, to run our state, to run our federal government, and sitting home doesn't help. So remember, November 2nd, get out and vote. It is your right, and it is important. My name is Ed Miller. Thank you.